Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is the In Deep on the Delta weekly fishing report for February 22nd. And as you can see by the opening video, we've had a little bit of wind this week. We've had some rain, we've had some weather fronts come in. And all in all, I can say, I think this is the turning point for the Delta. Winter may still be here for a week or two more, but as far as the fish are concerned, I think they're thinking it's the start of early spring spawn. We'll get into that more when we get into the report. Let's go over a little bit of river business and then we'll get right into the report. This Saturday, Real Custom Boat Works, I've been talking about this for a month or so, is having the Coast Guard boat inspection. That is this Saturday. I think it's starting about 9 to somewhere around 2-ish. You can come get your boat checked out. If you have any questions, call Jim Horton at 209-915-9880. And that is the Real Custom Boat Works Coast Guard boat inspection. We also have the Crappie Closet Lures Berryessa Crappie Tournament coming on. That's March 9th. That's at Capel Cove. For information on that, call Marlin at 510-691-0586. That is our river business. We're going to get right into what's going on here in the Delta. And we'll talk about river conditions, which are changing slightly, but not dramatically as far as the weather has been concerned. We've got about anywhere from about 54 to 58 degree water temperatures out here. We have anywhere from 2 inches of visibility to maybe 4 or 5 feet. And let's start up north. I did talk to Alan Fong this week about what it's looking like up north. We're talking up about Liberty Island and down around the Sacramento. Alan says all the weirs are open. He had a friend that went out and he was getting 1 inch of visibility around Liberty. Alan seems to think that chocolate water will be pushing down all the way down to Pittsburgh. So the Sacramento River's pretty much blown out. Don't have a whole lot of striper report this week. Not a lot of people going out. The people that are going out here in the Central Delta are catching a few fish, but we're just going to kind of blow by the stripers this week. So Sacramento River's pretty much blown out. But as far as visibility in the Central Delta, you can find that magic 2 to 4 feet of water, clarity, maybe even 5 or 6 in some places, and you could turn the corner and find, you know, a foot or two down south around Tracy Oasis. It's still pretty chocolatey brown down there, but as you get into the Central Delta, you can find good water, and the fish are responding. So we'll leave it at that, and before we get into the actual fishing report, there's a couple of people we need to talk about. Some congratulations are in order. One of the big congrats is to Christian Ostrander. He's a friend of the channel and a friend of most of us here on the Delta, young local angler that's fishing the Toyota MLF tour. Just fished his third stop on the tour, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce this lake. It's Cacheta or whatever the heck it is, but third stop on the tour, another top 10 finish. So he's been on 3 of the tournaments. He's got cashed a check on every tournament with 2 top 10 finishes. Christian's killing it out there, and if he keeps going like he's going to be a name that people are going to know nationally really quick. So congratulations to Christian. I also want to congratulate a friend of mine, Steve Thornton. Steve, congratulations. He won the Future Pro, the TOC up at Maloney's last week. And I got a call from my buddy Jerry. He also fished the tournament. Tough fishing conditions up there. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. They were there on the weekend, but a lot of wind, kind of nasty. I think Steve had a 2-day tournament. He had 14 pounds one day and 18 pounds to win it. decent bags, but you know, it's not on fire up there. Jerry, I think, was 11th or 12th, and I think Jerry said he had 10 or 11 pounds both days, so that's a pretty good indication what a good fisherman can expect if he goes up to Maloney's. But all right, let's get down to business, and we'll talk about what everybody wants to hear about, and that's the largemouth bass here on the Delta. And I think this is the week that it really broke loose. I'll talk about two tournaments, and one of the tournaments was held last Thursday. That was a small 6-boat tournament out of Tracy Oasis. They had 54 to 58 degree water temps, 1 to 4 feet of visibility. It took 12 pounds to win that tournament, you know, slow-moving baits were the order of the day for that small tournament. 12 pounds to win that on last Thursday. We had weather fronts come in. This weekend was nasty. Really started, the major front started Sunday, Monday, kind of that was the major. The ABA had a tournament on Sunday. I went out to the weigh-in, and they had, most guys are saying 25 to 30, 35 mile an hour winds. Tough day, but it was pre-front, and it was a warm pre-front. Had some rain, a lot of wind, and I will, you know, you got to take this with a grain of salt. They had 19 boats for the ABA, and they had all the top guns out here. They had Ken Ma, Obedy Williams was out, both of the Cloutier brothers. My friend Zach Thompson was fishing, you know, Juan Acosta, Mark Gomez, you know, the Kanemoto, Nick Kanemoto was out there. Big sticks. Well, this is where things get a little bit interesting. Mark Gomez and Juan Acosta won the tournament with 26 pounds, 26.9, almost 27 pounds with a 6'4" kicker. Second place was Nick Kanemoto with Gary Wiedner. I hope I pronounced your name right, Gary. They had a respectable bag of 24.2 with a 7'6" kicker. That fish was caught on a spinnerbait. There was several other 5-pound fish out of 19 boats. My buddy Cam Cardoza, he was I think 7th, and he had a respectable bag of 15.4. And those are, you know, everybody in the tournament caught fish. Rob had I think he had a 5-fish limit for just about 10 pounds, but everybody caught fish in that tournament. Middle of the pack was 14, 15 pounds, and it was just, you know, in the case of Cam, who had 15 pounds, he didn't have a fish over 3.5 pounds. Every fish was just a solid 3 pound, 3.2, you know, somewhere in there. Just nice, solid fish. Mark and Juan, who won with 26, they had that 6-pounder, but you know, they had a, you know, that's almost a 5-pound, you know, that's a 5-pound average. Excellent for this time of year. Everybody caught fish in different areas. There wasn't any certain place. I think most of these guys fished the Central Delta. I talked to Rob. He caught his fish on worms, and primarily worms. And him and his partner dropped 3 fish that were huge fish. One of them, he said, could have pushed a double digit. I also talked to Cam. Cam was catching his fish. He had his 15-pound limit with crankbaits. That's what did it for him. I think, you know, I'm not, God darn it, I wish I would remember what Mark and Juan caught theirs on, but I don't remember that. I know Nick and Gary, who had 24 pounds, were throwing their new gen spinnerbait, and they were also getting a few of them on chatterbaits. So everyone was doing something a little different. Most guys were using moving baits. And with weights like that, you know, a lot of big fish coming in. Those fish, the big females are starting to come in and look around to spawn. We're still a week or two away. It's going to depend on the weather. But guys, things are starting to perk up here. I'm out here Wednesday. As you can see, it's very foggy and it's absolutely calm. I'm thinking I'm going to get some fish today. I'm going to actually do a little, try a little harder than what I have been fishing. My fishing, along with Rob, and I've been corresponding with Rob quite a bit because he's been going out quite a bit. I've been on the water quite a bit, and both of us are seeing the same thing. We're getting good numbers. Rob and I haven't got into the big fish, but I've been throwing a jerk bait, getting most of my fish still on jerk baits. Do your thing out here. It's junk fishing. You can catch fish on anything, but the bottom line is the fish are biting out here. A lot of guys are getting 15, 20, 25 fish days. Now, those aren't all going to be big fish. There's going to be some males dispersed in with that. But the fish are biting, and I'm getting 56, 57 degree temps. As long as we, you know, the fronts that come in are not cold fronts, we're going to have, you know, approaching 60 degree water temps here in the next week or two. For you guys that are coming out this weekend, we've got a really good set of tides and the weather's supposed to be good. So this next weekend, I would say, man, if you got the time, get out here and give it a try. With the water clarity, I would suggest if you're coming out, it's going to be junk fishing, but if you can throw spinner baits, jerk baits, crank baits, A-rigs, chatter baits, something that moves quick, something that has some vibration in the water, because we do have, you know, we don't have chocolate milk out here, but the visibility you're going to look at probably 2 to 4 feet. So throw something that makes a little vibration. If you find fish, stop. You can punch, jig, or throw a worm, and you have a chance to catch some fish also. But it's looking good, guys. So all in all, man, we're getting real close. So stay tuned. Hopefully next week I can tell you that the river's really broke loose. I have a feeling it's going to be maybe 2 to 3 weeks before I can say that. But right now, everything looks like it's heading in the right direction. So I want to thank you guys for staying with me through these winter months that they have been tough, but they sure weren't like last year. Everybody's looking forward to this year. And thanks for staying with me. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, good luck.